Hi everyone, today we are on Module 4, Fractions. This is Lesson 3, page 17. So follow along, or turn to page 17 to follow along and take notes. All right, getting started. Well, first of all, our lesson today is adding fractions with unlike denominators, part 1. So we're going to do a little review on the getting started part here. So notice that this has common denominators, eighths and eighths. So when they are the same denominator, it's nice because then you just get to add the numerators. So 1/8 plus 3/8 equals 4/8. But then we have to make sure to simplify. We can divide top and bottom by 4. And 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So all the way simplified is 1/2. Okay, and this is a reminder, 1/4 and 2/3. So we need to find the LCM, which stands for the least common multiple. So we need to find a multiple that they both have in common. That's the lowest one that they have in common. So if I count by 4s, I'm going to just list them out. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. I'll see if that's enough. And then I'll go by 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Oh, and I can see that I got 12 is the least common multiple that they have, or the multiple that is the lowest that they have in common. So I'm going to write 12 for both of those denominators because I'm trying to make fractions where they both have the same denominator. So then I can say, okay, I did 4 times 3 to get 12, so I have to do 1 times 3 to get 3. And then I did 3 times 4 to get 12, so I do times 4 on top. 2 times 4 is 8. So then I would list the least common multiple as 12, and I made equivalent fractions for those. And in those equivalent fractions, they both had 12ths. They had a common denominator now. All right, so we're going to do the same thing for these next problems. So we have 1/4 plus 2/3. They do not have the same denominator, so we need to make them have the same denominator. So we just did that on the last slide. We know that 4 and 3, their least common denominator is 12. So then I would do 4 times 3 is 12, 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12, so then I do 2 times 4 is 8. So now I have 3/12 plus 8/12 equals 11/12. And that is all the way simplified already. They don't have any common factors that we could divide by. All right, here I have 7/10 and 1/2. Well, quickly I want to look at, if I don't have to change both fractions, I don't want to. So I'm going to keep 7/10 because I know that 2 goes into 10. So I'm just going to make it tenths. So I would do 2 times 5 equals 10. 1 times 5 equals 5. So then I have 7/10 plus 5/10, which equals 12/10. But that is an improper fraction, so we need to change that. We would do 12 divided by 10. 10 goes into 12 one time, so our whole number is 1. And then we do 1 times 10 is 10. Subtracts, we get a remainder of 2. So 1 and 2/10. But then remember, 2/10 can be simplified because we can divide top and bottom by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So our final answer is 1 and 1/5. Remember, with fractions, there is a lot of work you have to do to get to your final answer sometimes. But that's why you need to know those factors so that you can multiply and divide really quickly. Oh no. All right, this says Nellie has 2/3 yard of orange fabric right here and 1/2 yard of blue fabric. How many yards of fabric does she have in all? 2/3 plus 1/2. Well, remember, they have different denominators, so you can't just add those. So what they did is they made equivalent fractions with 6 as the common denominator. So we can see that 1/3 is the same as 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So you write a 4 right there. And then 1/2 is the same as 1, 2, 3, 6. So we write 3/6 there. So then total it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. Well, remember, 6 6 equals 1 whole, because 6 over 6 is 1. And then you have 1 6 left over, so 1 whole and 1 6. So Nellie has 1 and 1 6 yards of fabric. All right, this says find each sum, simplify if possible. So let's do this first one together. 6 sevenths plus 5 14ths. Well, again, remember, if I don't have to change both, I don't want to. So I can look and I can say, oh, I know 7 goes into 14. So I'm going to make 14ths. Well, this is already 5 14ths, so I'm just going to keep that. But then I think, okay, 7 times 2 equals 14. 6, then I have to do 6 times 2 is 12. So then I'm going to add those up. 12 plus 5 is 17. And then I have 14ths on the bottom. Well, we're dividing 17 divided by 14. 14 goes into 17 one time. We multiply that, and we have a remainder of 3. That's a R for remainder. So we have 1 whole remainder of 3 out of 14. And that is all the way simplified. All right, the next one, we have 1 6 and 2 fifths. Well, we know that 6 and 5, we got to find a common multiple. So I can think about it, and I could quickly write out their multiples. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. I'll stop there and see 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, there it is. 30 is the lowest common multiple. So that means that we are going to add 30ths. So 6 times 5 is 30. So I do 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 6 is 30. So I have to do 2 times 6 on top, which is 12. 5 plus 12 is 17 out of 30. That's all the way simplified. All right, last one on this page. We have 1/4 plus 7 16ths. Again, I know 4 goes into 16, so I'm going to keep 7 16ths. I don't want to change both of them. So I'm just going to say 4 times 4 is 16, 1 times 4 is 4. So that makes it pretty simple. Then I can add 4 plus 7 is 11, and then 16ths is on the bottom for the denominator. All right, this says 2/3 plus 4 fifths. The lowest common denominator is 15. So find the least common denominator for the fractions. Then write equivalent fractions. So we know it's 15, so you want to change it into 15ths. Then you add the numerators and keep the denominator the same. And then write in simplest form. This was 22/15, so that's an improper fraction, so you have to make it into a mixed number. All right, you're going to complete page 19 on your own. Remember, you might have to do a lot of steps to get to your final answer. Just take your time, rewatch this video if you need help. Good luck.